Good morning, guys. Hope you're having a great day. What an exciting evening yesterday for Amazon and Apple. My accounts are going to open up nice on Amazon. But going over SPY. So yesterday, there's nothing more bullish than this. Like I say, we're close to all-time highs, but today, obviously, pre-market, we're a little red. So let's see what happens. And I'm just going to remove all my drawings here, all these resistance levels, and then we'll go over the monthly end action. It is the last day of the month for us on SPY candles. So for the monthly, we might just close the way it is. So we might just consolidate in SPY today near 455, 457, or maybe we close lower than 452. All right, but looking at the chart, is bullish, is doing great. However, it is a bit extended from its averages. All right, now that we have the most of the tech earnings or most earnings out, the bigger ones that matter to us, I'll go over them and we'll see what to expect in November and December, right? But for now, it looks great, and let's see where we close today, right? And we might have some good scalp opportunities. And based on the daily, we do have some gaps left below, right? We do have some gaps right here, which might be filled in November, December, Jan, Feb, whenever they decide to. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. So as long as we hold above 450 on longer time frames, that's all that matters to me. The day we break 450, consider that we will visit 435, 430 levels on SPY. All right, and tech. I'm also going to remove my drawings here. Now that we're past these things, nothing more bullish. Closed at all-time highs yesterday, and now we're pre-market opening red. Do we rip back up, or do we just consolidate here and flag it, right? Or does the same thing as SPY happen? We give up some gains in the coming weeks. We visit 360, this zone right here, right? So we have to wait and watch. And the bill that was supposed to be passed yesterday, they said they're going to extend the voting. So let's see when the news on that comes out, right? That's another negative. But tech, Apple, Amazon, they missed on their earnings. I'll go over their charts. But Qs, as long as 382 is a number, that's all you guys need to know, in my opinion. 382.50 hold, and we go higher. Anything underneath is either consolidation, or we visit the 50-day moving average and then fill the gaps here in the coming weeks. All right. There's no doubt that we can that we might end up going sideways here like this. Something like this can happen. It's just a theory, or we might flag here and then break up, or we dip right here and then bounce back up, or we dip, consolidate here, and then much lower. So all these scenarios are possible. Let's wait with time and see what happens. Energy is green this morning. Chevron, ExxonMobil, great earnings. They're actually, so if you look at XOM and Chevron, their earnings, if you read up on them, I did post a quote from CNBC in our premium Discord. They had some record quarters after many years, right, which is very unusual for them. So that's a very big positive. So keep an eye on XLE if we continue holding above 58. You guys can just buy long-term options in this as well if you believe in the energy sector, because I think it's going to hold steam for some while. Hold above 58. All right, hold above 58 on XLE. $60, $61 options, few months out will be cheaper, and if it breaks out new highs, we might get a move on them. The reason I'm saying this is because we broke out of this base, we broke out of this short-term base, right? I'll just quickly draw this. So we broke out of this short-term base, and right here we're retesting it, right? This is a retest, okay? So this right here is nothing but a retest, right here above these levels. So as long as we hold above these levels, XLE is in play. All right, and with some great earnings and comments, I think we might have some more room left to the upside. And if it fails this retest, then obviously downside we have back into this zone. All right. Financials, similar action. The only thing that matters is 38.60 hold and through 39, which was an old comment. And as long as we're here, we might get that retest of 39-ish. I'm still waiting for this retest if it happens. If it doesn't, and if it takes to all-time highs, I might play some bank names again. All right, so I'm going to wait on this, but I will not play in this chop. Again, it broke out of this base. A retest of 39 will be great on XLF, and then we play the bounce up. Okay. Now earnings. Let's go over Apple. Apple yesterday, I give these strikes for a strangle. I wish I had taken them because they will be up nice, 50-60% at the open. Right, they will be up nice, there's no doubt. And where are these comments? Just remove my drawings. Now, Apple was trading near all-time highs yesterday. We're down few dollars, right? So we'll be trading $10 away from all-time highs. So the stock is still good, okay? Apple now, the earnings per share were good. They missed on their revenue, and the comments weren't bad. You know, Tim Cook, he said they're still expecting solid year-over-year growth. So Apple, you just buy, you don't trade it, they say, right? If you have a lot of money for equity. But one thing that every company has been saying, and I think anyone that's missing earnings, they're just straight going to supply chain issues. And same with Apple, they're also saying the same thing, that, you know, supply chain issues has hurt their demand for iPhone or movement of the sales, right? And then all these things. But technically, Apple, if we open up the monthly candle, right, this will be very important how we close. It broke out of this base back in June, July, right? So we have July, August, September, October. This month, do we close red? Which is very unlikely to close red. This would have to close below 142. We're trading at 147-ish right now, I believe. So $5 more down. If that's the case, then that's really bearish. That means November, December, we come back into this base right here. All right, I mean, based on technicals, okay? If we close below 142 or whatever it may be, or near the bottom of this candle, 143, 144, that will be considered bearish, okay? Then in November, we might have red, and then let's see with the holiday season what they say. Okay, so Apple on the monthly, we don't want this closing below the opening price of August, which was 146. All right, if it closes under 146, 145, that's bearish into next month, okay? Amazon, again, similar as a monthly candle with Amazon. If we close, yesterday I did say if we close below 32.89 was it? Yeah, 32.89. So I'll just do some technical. Close below or under 32.89 is bearish based on technicals, right? So that's something which is very possible. Okay. Now, so some things about Amazon. So their earnings per shares they also missed, right? Which they usually don't miss. They always surprise. Usually, sometimes the estimate's 8, they will come out with 12. But yesterday they came up almost 25% less than what was expected, right? Their cost against supply chain issues, it costed them over $2 billion this quarter, and they gave comments for quarter 4 it might cost another $4 billion, so up from this quarter. So they're letting their investors know, which is a good thing. Their wage for workers is gone to $18 an hour average from 15, which is another $3 increase, and that's huge for a company, right? And they're just getting back to their networks, right? They're working their best for the employees, labor shortage for the holiday season, and growth until quarter 2, 2022. So for the next 3-4 quarters, there won't be much growth. They're just gonna fix certain things and keep up with their estimates. They're gonna try, and then later on things will, you know, grow. Obviously, supply chain issues is not only affecting them. Starbucks came out with their earnings. They also missed, and they're also down pre-market. Again, their comment was supply chain issues, right? Now, if we look at the monthly, back in 2018 to 2020, right, from August, Amazon was in a zone for almost 15-16 months, right? It traded sideways for almost 16 months, okay? Many people probably tried playing the breakout right here. It didn't break out for 2 months. It came down, and it gave a nice little dip by opportunity. So if you guys go on March 2020, all right, so in Feb 2020, it tried breaking out. It made a high of 21.85, but then the following month in Feb, it made a low of 16.26, which was almost a 20% move down. Amazon here, their trading was at 3,500. A 25% down move is 2,900 almost. Can the same thing happen here again? When Amazon's still a great company, all the numbers are great, but people are just expecting too much, right? So if Amazon gets a dip to this area, now I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's a possibility. I always expect downside on my levels, right? I do have a lot of money in leaps on Amazon, which I'm gonna probably open down huge if Amazon does not recover today. But I just want to say one thing. Me and LB were just analyzing this chart just about half an hour ago, 40 minutes ago. If Amazon dips towards this level right here by any chance, which is $3,900 level, right? I will take that as a buying opportunity around these levels, right? 100 points up, down for equity and more long-term options, okay? The latest expiry available, okay? The latest expiry, I mean, only if your account can afford. If you can, that's fine, right? So 2,900, 3,000, that's something I will keep an eye on, okay? If it comes. Maybe they give us a nice little dip and a nice little rip in the following December, Jan, who knows? Now that they've given all these comments, they clarified many things, okay? So just keep an eye on that. Another scenario for today, for Friday, which for a lot of Friday, can Amazon do the same thing Shop and Google did? A lot of people will be expecting this. Trust me, in the market, a lot of people are going to expect that Amazon's going to do the same thing as Google and Shop did. And it's possible. Who knows? Maybe it will rip right back to 3,400. I have no idea. Right? If it does that, then that's really bullish in my opinion. Going into November, then November, they might just flag it here and then break out in December, January. But personally, I believe they might give us a little dip again because our last earnings, they went sideways for a few days and then boom, they just kept going down for many days straight in a row. Same thing possible here. So this zone that I drew here is possible that it might come here. Now, a company like Amazon, sometimes when people play options, they start hating it. They incur some losses. They get stuck in these zones. They never want to play the company again. Just like Alibaba, a lot of people hate it. Nobody wants to play it, right? But Amazon, all I'm gonna say is just be consistent, right? Keep your position size consistent. The day this rip comes, right? The day it breaks out of this zone right here to the upside, you can make 1,000, 2,000, 5,000% on your options with time. And that's when the most of the money is made. You just have to be consistent. It requires a lot of guts and it requires a lot of management on your end. And sometimes you just have to be able to go through that pain. I got the 2023 options on Amazon. I bought them at $14,000 a contract. Today they're probably going to open up at $6,000, $7,000 per contract. That's fine. It's just part of the game, right? You may gain somewhere else and you just have to manage those. Right, same thing that happened with AMD. We bought the contracts at 22, went down to $6, and later we sold them for 38, 40 bucks, right? So these things are normal in options. So I'm spending a little time on Amazon because I know a lot of you guys played with us and they're expensive. So if your account allows it, play it. If not, don't. Go for spreads in the money, which is cheaper. Okay? So that's Amazon, guys, up or down. Let's see what happens today for Lotto Friday. ServiceNow, great earnings. Great earnings, right? Some of you guys, right in the morning, you guys ended up buying the weekly calls, which there's nothing wrong with it, right? I mean, I was also expecting a huge run. They were supposed to pay out huge, but they just kept this name sideways, right? We do have some resistance right here, right? Just above the 690 level, just above the 690 level. This is the old comments. I'll just take these out. So we do have some resistance right here in these areas above 690. We did touch all-time highs yesterday, so as long as we take out 694 as a number, 694, I think this continues to 700, right? The weekly options, those that bought, I think you might feel some pain, and those that bought spreads for next week, we were up 40% yesterday, and we're still up, and let's see if we get our move, right? And on weekly options, some of you that don't know, you're buying $2.50 options. You better have a lot of cash in your account, right? I mean, you must understand Greeks. If you don't know what Greeks are, go into sessions on our premium Discord. It's available there. I've done a session on it that explains it, right? Because they had earnings yesterday, so the premium was juiced. In the morning, it made a nice move. As soon as it started going sideways, they took a lot of premium out of the further calls, all right? So ServiceNow, as long as it takes a 694, I think 700 comes. Starbucks, I would love to add this name long if it gets anywhere here. I mean, all these things are possible to the downside, so just keep that in mind. If Starbucks gets to this zone right here, where I see the major support, right, it has a nice little run, and the stocks like these always give chances on nice little dips, okay? So if it gets in this zone right here, below 100, I will probably buy leaps. I think that will be a nice little leaps play. All right, Walmart, another name that you want to keep an eye on. You guys all know the number, but I'll give it to you one more time. It might be setting up for it, unless supply chain also hits them now. 154 is the magic number. And so 154, guys. As the day we take out 154, I think we get a nice little uptrend on Walmart, and we can play this to the upside and make all the money that we want. All right. Facebook will be known as Meta starting December 1st. Post earning, if it gets 330, 350, we got up to 343, nothing much. Yesterday it gave a nice little rip, right? They tried ripping it, but again, I think it's going to take some time before they digest the news and understand the metaverse and the opportunities available in there. For me, I see major support right here in this zone on Facebook, which is just right above 290. So right here is the buy zone for me. Here's where I would like to add some leaps, scale in. Not going to go in full position at 290. If we do get 290, I'll scale in. Who knows, maybe all these stocks are going to rip back up. I have no idea. But I'm just taking downside in first. So if we do get the 290 level here, I'll have my first scale in to go long. All right. And then if it gives us an opportunity here at 240, 45, 250, which is also possible, I will average this down right here again. Okay. And then Lucid, we had leaps. Right, we had leaps which went more than 100% yesterday, right? We do have a gap fill towards 52. Their deliveries are starting. This is the biggest volume candle we had yesterday, right? And one of my friends called me yesterday who has no idea about stocks, and he said, bro, my accountant told me to buy Lucid, right? And I was shocked. I'm like, damn, I'm like, you don't know nothing about stocks. He's like, yeah, so open an account for me and do it. But anyways, so I was surprised that he called yesterday, right? This is gonna have a little bit of Tesla type hype, which is possible, okay? They do have earnings coming on November 15th. Their deliveries are coming out. The only thing that matters now is their comments every few weeks, every other month, their delivery report numbers, if they surprise. The more they surprise, the more, the bigger the squeeze, I think, right? And then today, if we take out yesterday's high, I think 50 is coming. And if we do get 50, I'm probably gonna take off my leaps and get a different position in it. I'll play it safer and lock in my profits because that's a really fast move. So I'll take that. I don't want to get stuck in that squeeze and dump. Okay. So Lucid, a great play. Up on LB's calls and my calls, both are up. LB, any other stock you want to cover?
Not really. You went over LC?
LC, yes. LC, what an amazing play. And this guy would come to me every 1 hour when he entered that, look into it. I didn't look into it. I was looking into Amazon.
I gave you Lucid leaps too.
And
look how it ended up.
So no, Lucid was my own play. I know you were in before me. But LC, what an amazing move. He caught this squeeze way before it happened, and he gave us a heads up that this is a possibility that may happen, and it happened, right? Similar to UPST action. And I think LC, as long as we continue holding above 40, continue hold above 40, and if it continues flagging here, we might see a squeeze towards 50 plus, right? You guys all know what UPST did, right? So based on his research, I mean, we're not saying this is going to happen, but something similar is possible. Something like this on LC. All right, same sector. So LC guys, if you're in, you're up huge, right? So thank you to LB, and just manage your positions. All right, here we are in resistance zone. If you zoom out of the chart, right? If you zoom out of the chart long enough, you will see that there's a lot of supply and demand in this zone. Once through here, right? It continues holding 40. I think we have all the way towards above 60. So 60 is next, and on stocks like this, it happens fast. So a 40 hold for the next few days, 60 will happen fast. And if you're already in, just manage. Twitter. So two big leaps, which I'm feeling the pain on, right? Twitter and Amazon, and that's fine. I'm just gonna manage them, average them down later when I see a confirmed base. Twitter just has to hold this base now. Let's see, maybe for the next 2 months, I would say, right? It's gonna be gotta be very patient with this name, because sometimes when it dips or moves sideways, it just moves sideways. Because until 65, there's nothing. So Twitter, guys, 48, 49. So 48, 49. I will see how it holds if it gets there. Maybe these names bounce from here. I could be wrong, but I'm just taking downside in first, right? 48, 49. If it holds well here and I get a reversal signal, I will have a scale in. If it holds these levels here and I see that it's making a strong base, it's protecting 48, 49, I might play this to the upside again and average down. However, next zone under this, if it fails 48, 49, we do have all the way towards 45, right here. 45 is the next zone then, okay? So expect downside on these names, the
Just
way
one thing.
they're behaving, and
Okay, so Amazon did miss earnings, but their cloud numbers were amazing. So make sure you watch cloud companies today. Team absolutely smoked their earnings. You see Team? They're at 460 right now, aftermarket. They gapped up last earnings, kept going, and they just gapped up again. Watch Team. HUBS is another one. Twilio might go off that. What else we got? ServiceNow is also in that. Bro, like they all might run. X actually gapped up a lot too. Yeah.
X gapped up a lot today. X guys, I don't know. Did they have anything?
They had earnings.
They had earnings. Okay. Very choppy here. I just suggest if you're playing X, just draw your support and resistance lines. Right. Play based on those and fast trades on X, man. Right. Very fast trades until you guys take out these highs of 29. 29 is very hard on X. I'll give it to you guys right here. 29 is very hard, but if it takes out 29 in the coming weeks and it holds, we might see a move to 32, 33. But here, just I mean, it looks like it's up nice in pre-market, right? This little bull flag pattern worked out, and does it hold the gains or does it give up, right? This name does not move much, so you have to be very careful with what you're playing, right? So X, if you're in it, I would buy time on my positions, and that's how I would play X. Right? So X, if I was to play it, I would buy some time. And if you happen to catch one of these squeezes that happens like this, you will make a lot of money. On the weekly, it's actually holding these levels above 23, which is very bullish. All right. So 29 is a hard number. All right, guys. With this, we'll end it. See you guys back in the chat. Lotto Friday. The tricky part is, how do you position yourself? If you have a $10,000 cash count, how much do you go in with the Lotto? If the Lotto is over $2, don't buy it. Why are you going to waste almost 2% on a Lotto? You don't do that stuff, right? Maybe you wait for something that might cost 13, 15, 20, 30 cents and buy a few contracts of those. And Lottos are meant to zero, so expect zero, all right? But they have high returns when they work. So today, do we get any Lottos or do we just sit on our hands and don't trade at all? Anything is possible. We'll see how the market reacts, what it gives us. God bless. See you guys back in the chat.